What is good, everybody? My Paper Moon fam. It's your boy, PaperSin, back with another reaction video. This one is called Why Woke People Are Making Everything Ugly. And it's by the YouTube channel Think Before You Sleep. As always, link to the channel, link to the video will both be in the description below. And while you're there, so make sure you check them out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things like I asked you to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. All right, so I'm curious to see what this is about. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider myself quote unquote woke. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care what people do or what or anything, as long as it doesn't affect me personally. As long as it doesn't, as long as I'm not forced to do anything, I don't really give a shit. But let's check it out. Real virtual
There are thousands of skins available to choose from. But finally,
GTA?
one that looks like mine.
Oh, I look so badass.
We created avatars inspired by real women to show how
this is completely
representation in games would look like.
lazy. This is completely lazy. Are we ever going to get a new woke meta, or are they just going to keep using the same old hashtag first ever, insert perceived oppressed group, in a insert type of media? This is the first time a woman who looks like me has ever been put in a video game.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and Jennifer Lawrence
true.
was the first female lead in an action movie ever. I swear these people used to be more
Wait,
creative.
what did that say?
This was the first.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie. Pretty sure that's not true.
First female lead in an action movie ever. I swear these people used to be more creative, but these days everything is so formulaic. That, and the fact that the people who made this ad clearly don't play video games, because there are plenty of them out there with extreme levels of character customization.
True.
And it's been that way for a while, as I remember that in Phantasy Star Online from over 20 years ago,
yeah,
you could customize your character to be a short person of size.
I don't look like that.
I don't know why, like, I don't know why they pretend that is not that massive amount of customers. Have you guys played Harry Potter? Like, you know how much customization is in that? Come on now.
Not everyone looks like that. A character that looks like me in a video game and be like, yo, this baby's fire.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you want to create an albino character with red hair in a game, that's possible.
Yeah.
Please, Dove, tell me more about how things that already exist in video games don't exist. Or maybe I can watch another video from Vice about people who don't know how to use the mute button on a multiplayer game.
I mean, even in Diablo 4, I mean, obviously this is a newer game, but you can, I made myself pretty much in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? This has been something. Like sliders for weight, for color, skin color, for hair color. Like what? This has been a thing. What?
Oh, look, the ad comes with an article. We're bringing real beauty to the virtual world.
Low key, none of them really look like their avatars, though. I mean, they mostly do, but there's still slight differences that you can see. I'm just being picky now.
Does the term beauty even mean anything anymore? Or is everybody just the same regardless of effort? You're all 10 out of 10s in mommy's eyes. Thanks for the participation trophy, Dove.
The only thing I would say that isn't really that you don't really see in video games is people like in action games. You don't really see people in wheelchairs. You know what I'm saying? That's like the only thing I could think about. There's no one in a wheelchair in like Overwatch. There's nobody in a wheelchair in Diablo 4 and something like that. That's like, you know, there's nobody with crutches. Those are the only things I can think about. Like everything else is already like there. Like what?
Anyway, about a month ago, Dove came out with her latest body positivity campaign by partnering with Epic Games and using the Unreal Engine to create 3D models of realistic women.
Okay.
Wait, this was done with Unreal Engine? Really? Why do all these models look like crappy World of Warcraft avatars from 2006? Dove has hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is the best they can come up with for their banner? I mean, there are YouTubers working by themselves on no budget making full AAA quality playable renders with Unreal Engine, while these renders from Dove barely break the PS2 era.
Damn.
I understand that they showed like 3 seconds of content that looked decent, but then they show this woman saying that she looks badass to this lower quality avatar, which kind of sets the tone for all these major companies constantly setting the bar lower and lower as time goes on, because they're too lazy to create quality products that are new and original.
To be fair, all of that is going. It's like baby steps. Like when the first PlayStation and stuff like that come in, like it's all gonna be upgraded eventually. But it's not like you have a fucking a full body scanner that's going to put that's gonna be put in everybody's rooms so that, or houses, so that they can put themselves in a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Dove has nothing to do with video games in the first place, right? So why are they even using this as a campaign to begin with? Their skincare. What are they doing? Do people who does the Dove target audience even use, or even like do the majority of them even play games? I don't get it, bro.
All while acting like a sleazy salesman who's trying to convince you that this unfinished piece of crap here is just as good as this incredible high-definition remaster of Ocarina of Time. Real beauty takes effort, and everything about this project from Dove says, we put no effort into this. For example,
they speed ran 2 out of 3 female gamers in the UK.
You were not there.
Say there is a lack of representation in video games.
You were not there. You don't exist. The things are not made for you.
Her, maybe.
Okay, I don't believe that statistic at all. Where did you get that number? Did you simply ask 3 of your British friends? Because there is no way that most British women are eternally offended snowflakes who care about that kind of stuff.
Also, like, most British women still don't, as far as I know, I could be completely wrong, they still don't really play video games. It just says 2 out of 3 female gamers in the UK. Let's say, I don't know the UK population, but let's say there's 100,000 UK in the UK female people in the 100,000 females in the UK, right? And it says 2 out of 3, right? But only 1,000 of them play video games. That's still like most of the population does not represented. Not represented. It's not. First off, most of the population isn't represented by this Dove commercial because they're not gamers. And secondly, why? What? Never mind, bro. I'm just.
But more importantly, you might have noticed that there are subtitles in this video. Those aren't for deaf people. The reason they included subtitles is because the echo is so bad that you can't hear what they're saying. Where's the acoustic treatment? Did they record this in a square concrete building?
You were not there. You don't exist.
My subtitles are for hearing impaired. That's why I put them on that's why I activate the main video subtitles in mine.
Things are not made for you.
It's also hard to hear the people who are speaking because the mixing is bad and the music is often too loud. And the gain is turned up so high on their microphones that the audio is almost clipping. Was everyone on this project a diversity hire? This audio is about as pleasant to listen to as a bunch of feminists screaming into the microphone for their college play.
That's how you know they don't play video games, because like even gamers who have bad mics, other gamers will tell them to shut the fuck up because their mic is shit.
Since 2004, the Dove Self-Esteem Project has become the largest self-esteem education provider in the world. Well, I think I found your problem here. You see, attractive people have horrible self-esteem. That's why they spend insane amounts of time on the skill building and self-care that it requires to be attractive. I'll give you an example. This picture of Zendaya has been trending recently.
Okay.
This is no self-care Zendaya. This is self-care Zendaya. Do you see the difference in appearance?
Yes.
One took effort, the other took no effort.
And she's got natural beauty as well. So shout out to that. because especially for having a picture out there showing it, because most people try to hide that as much as possible. It seems. I mean, at least most celebrities try to hide that, especially Instagram models try to hide that. Not that Instagram models are celebrities, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Why don't if they're pushing body positivity, why don't they push natural beauty along with it? Huh? Instead of all this makeup and bullshit.
Because of stuff like this, I really think this whole woke campaign, as well as the woke stuff in general, is an assault on effort because their main message is, you're fine the way you are, which is a decent message if.
And yet they push makeup and they put on makeup and all that other, and fake hair, fake eyelashes, get Botox, and yet you're fine as you are.
You have a really unreasonable insecurity, but also if you tell people in general that they're already perfect, then the ones who are foolish enough to believe that will never strive to improve. And coincidentally, I think that those are often the people who would benefit the most from a little bit of low self-esteem.
We create avatars
about self-esteem. It's about what you can or cannot do with your life.
Okay, but how does a PS2 quality avatar for a failed ad campaign enable you to do things in your life that you previously could not do? True. Not to mention that video games are primarily about escapism, and if I'm playing a character, I want to play someone who is more attractive than me so I can self-insert and escape from my less glamorous life. Why would I want to fantasize about being ugly? The whole point of playing a video game is to be able to do things that you can't do in real life, like fly or shoot laser beams out of your eyes or be a dolphin.
Also, when he mentioned the point of video games being about escapism, there's a lot of guys out there that just go and play female characters. Do you think they're playing those because they secretly want to be women? Most of them no. Most of them know. They just play female characters because it's something to look at. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this whole thing about quote unquote wanting to be represented in video games is kind of just dumb because, like I said before, you can already make a character that looks like you in every video game that has a customization option. You know? Yeah.
Games are designed to be unrealistic, and that's what makes them fun. I just want to be able to play my Japanese bug-collecting self-improvement game where I can completely ignore all the themes of animal abuse and slavery because it's not real life.
True.
That being said, there's a second part to this Dove campaign where they decided to feature one of the models in her own commercial. Now, looking at this cast, if we're trying to promote body positivity, we have several people here who look a certain way because of how they were born, or they're in a situation that's no fault of their own. There's Sam, who is in a wheelchair, Lily, a woman with Down syndrome.
Why does her character have a scar on her eye when she doesn't have a scar at all?
And Coco, a woman with a skin disease that caused her to lose her pigmentation. Surely these women are all great choices to promote self-acceptance in the face of a situation that you can't change. Nope, Dove picked the obese woman.
Well, I mean, body positivity, quote unquote, right? Was that supposed to be her? Oh.
Are we still going to gaslight people into thinking that body positivity has anything to do with being compassionate and understanding towards people who are victims of unfortunate circumstances? I hope not, because obviously it's all just a fat acceptance narrative and a way to enable food addicts who are too in denial to fix their health issues and their appearance. And it's not the first time this has been done either. Here's an article from 2015 talking about body positivity edits in video games, where all they do is make every character fat and disparage girls who naturally have curves. As for why this movement is so important to Dove, well, there's a reason for that, but first, I have to make a correction. In a previous video, I said that the owners of Dove, Unilever, had a vested interest in fat acceptance because they own Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I have to apologize for that statement because it was extremely inaccurate. Unilever actually owns 5 different ice cream brands.
Holy shit.
They own a popular mayonnaise brand, they own Popsicle, and they sometimes partner with Nabisco to make good humor versions of Oreos. These make up most of their food brands, and the remaining ones are still pretty much processed junk food.
So that's why Unilever or whatever has an invested interest in quote unquote body positivity, because it encourages people to, there's a part of it that encourages people to not seek a more healthy and active lifestyle so they can sell more food, sell more food. Okay, I see it. Damn, son.
So is it a surprise that they would use their soap company to promote an ideology that causes people to buy more junk food like ice cream? No, it can't be about that. It's about over-sexualizing women.
Había dos personajes, mujeres.
There were only
nada
two
más.
female characters,
Los dos eran
both
dos personajes super
over-sexualized.
sexualizados. Y nada, eran las dos opciones que tenía para
these were the only two
elegir.
options
Sorry,
I could
for
choose
some
from.
reason they had her speak Spanish, even though she can speak English. But she said two female characters from a game that they never identified were over-sexualized. Whatever that means, because they'll call Laura Croft hypersexualized for just standing there and doing nothing sexual.
True.
But I get it. Video games sexualize women way too much. Let's see how Dove intends to remedy this problem. Well,
Okay.
that's one way to start. We have a woman here who was fully covered up, who then changed into something that was more revealing. She basically is in the same outfit that Laura Croft was in. Let's see what's next.
Well, her midriff isn't showing. That's about it.
So now we have a bent-over ass shot that is center of the frame that adds nothing to the story. They went full-on anime camera angles, and somehow they're going to claim that it's not an attempt at sexualizing the character.
I love this meme. Don't you think the camera angles in anime can be a little weird? What do you mean? I don't think she slammed the door hard enough for that. 74%. Wait, what's that say? 74% of girls feel underrepresented in video games. Most girls don't even play video games, right?
Where exactly did you get that stat? This time it says 74%, so on this occasion, they would have had to survey at least 50 people.
Okay.
That's more than 3, but what do they do? Survey the office? How exactly did they ask the questions in the survey? Because there's no way that much of the general population agrees with this woke narrative, considering that in places like America, half the population are conservatives who don't care about this, and tons of liberals are anti-feminist too.
Okay.
So there's no way you got a vast majority on this one. The proof being that you had to censor the comments on the video.
Damn!
But considering that all the anti-capitalist YouTubers are now calling stuff like this performative wokeness, I doubt you even have them on your side.
Woke washing, similar to greenwashing and pinkwashing, is a type of performative capitalism.
I don't know what either of those, like green or pink washing, is. I should probably look those up after this.
Companies these days often brand themselves as being woke, either by posting like a Black Lives Matter post on Instagram or by showing a diverse range of models in their ad campaigns, because they know being more progressive is monetizable these days.
Here's what I mean when I say it's performative. Let's remove the
Okay, greenwashing, also called green sheen, is a form of advertising or marketing spin in which green PR and green marketing are deceptively used to persuade the public that an organization's products, aims, and policies are environmental friendly. Makes sense? All right, real quick, pinkwashing. Pinkwashing is when brands officially declare to be an LGBTQ plus ally, but act differently in practice or don't support such communities at all or only at a limited event. So is that kind of like how what Budweiser did recently?
the fact that they focused on the one person who could actually change her appearance, probably because she's more relatable to the majority of the Dove audience and will thus sell more soap, which kind of goes against their whole message of giving representation to people who don't normally get it. Obese women already have a ton of representation. But let's forget about all that and bring attention to the idea that this campaign was supposed to be about accepting real beauty. At the end of the ad, they show this image here that says, learn more about Cynthia's real story at dove.com/realvirtualbeauty.
bro, even your character is skinnier than you are. But that being said, I want to see the chick in the wheelchair doing some action takes. Do that.
Now take a look at this picture. If this is supposed to be about real beauty, then why did you edit her appearance to be more conventionally attractive? The most obvious thing they did is that they removed her double chin. Also, if you zoom in, you can see they removed her smile lines as well, and they straightened her hair. And don't tell me that it's harder to render curly hair. This was done by a AAA company, and you can see the individual strands of her hair on her avatar. They can figure out curly hair. The ridiculousness of this situation reminds me of that guy who fixed the Anita Sarkeesian Feminist Frequency logo. That was a classic. Now let's go back to the original image, because this is even more egregious. They made Cynthia taller than she actually is. You can see here that she's shorter than the black girl, but her avatar is taller than her. That, or they took all these pictures separately, and Dove did a bad editing job. They used better makeup on Cynthia to give her more contrast in her face, and yet again straightened her hair. Don't tell me that they can't do curly hair here, because there is a curly hair avatar standing right next to her. And on the subject of things being ironically racist, the black girl is the only one who looks worse than she does in real life. You have a decent looking woman here, and they did her dirty. They made her shorter and fatter. Her real hairstyle looks way better than the avatar. They made her less fashionable by closing her jacket, which removes the layering on her torso. And don't say they can't add in layering, because both the white girls have more layered clothing in their 3D avatars than they do in person. Coco is also the only one that didn't give makeup, and the render of her avatar is so poor that the face looks glued on, like a character from GoldenEye for Nintendo 64.
Damn!
Oh, I look so badass.
How did they trick her into saying that? Now, to be fair, there was a higher quality render of her, but this image still makes her look bad. And my question is, if they had those renders, then why did they use these garbage ones from the main page of the campaign? It sends a confusing message, because the campaign is about empowering less attractive people by altering their appearance to be more attractive, while also choosing to promote the less attractive renders of the avatars that they made. It lacks what the film industry calls continuity, which is just another form of showing how low effort.
Wait, what about the hat?
Lacks what the
I don't know if that was with this guy's original video or if that whatever.
Film industry calls continuity, which is just another form of showing how low effort this entire campaign was. And that really fits the philosophical narrative of woke ideology. Their whole message is, don't put effort into anything, don't fix yourself, meritocracy doesn't exist, and don't make things beautiful. It's literally in every facet of their ideology. Look at the art they produce. This is not the only example. In fact, recently, I was in New York with Brittany Venti to go to someone's wedding.
Okay.
On that trip, we hung out with a friend of hers and went to a modern art museum called the Whitney. Here's a picture I took of the building. Now, while you're enjoying my vacation slideshow, I want you to imagine what kind of art that you would see in a modern art museum. Then take that picture in your head and lower the quality by a factor of 10. Okay. Here's what Brittany and I saw at the art museum.
What?
I am 95% sure that I, with no art experience, can draw better than this. Keep in mind that we paid money to get in. It was $25 a person, and I bought all the tickets, so I paid $75 to see a museum full of art made by adults that looks like a fourth grader did it. Though we were just there to laugh, so I think it was worth it. But imagine thinking that this image looks good. There is so much crap in the frame that I have no idea what to focus on, but apparently a lot of anti-capitalist YouTube channels think that this style of art that has all the grace of a messy room looks good, because a number of them use this ugly style of elementary school collage art to create their thumbnails.
Imagine if artists like Picasso, Van Gogh, Michelangelo were alive to see this and we call it modern art. What would they say? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. I am so glad I'm not him. I'm so glad I'm not him and had to pay for to see shit like this. Like, I used to like going to art museums, but now I'm gonna make sure I stay away from any modern ones. So I never really went to, like, modern art museums, but now I'm definitely gonna make sure I never go to any modern art museum at all.
YouTube channels think that this style of art that has all the grace of a messy room looks good, because a number of them use this ugly style of elementary school collage art to create their thumbnails. If you think that these three examples are the only ones that I have, then you'd be wrong. But let me guess, this is a commentary on capitalism, right?
What is
That's
that?
always the case with modern art. The ironic part of this trip is that right across the street from the Whitney, there is this beautiful piece of architectural art called Little Island on the Hudson River that you can just walk into for free, and it was built by a rich capitalist named Barry Diller. Why would I pay to see kindergarten art when I can see art that is actually good for free?
Yes.
If woke people are really focused on the betterment of mankind, then why do they keep making things ugly? Why did they use a game like Fable to take an actress with attractive facial features and make her ugly in the game? However, personally, I think we are nearing the end of this nonsense, and here's why. If you pay attention, then you'll realize that people or companies will pretty much strive to get away with whatever you let them get away with. When you assert boundaries, that's when they stop. The craziest adults are the ones who didn't have boundaries asserted on them when they were younger. Setting boundaries is important. For example, look at how many major battles that woke companies have lost this June. Bud Light is essentially dead as a brand, and it turns out that companies like Starbucks aren't that attached to the message when they found out that sticking to their morals was going to cost them a ton of money. They will continue to throw this crap in your face until you...
What did that say? Breaking! In the middle of Pride Month, Starbucks bans Pride decorations in stores across the United States. For the last 2 weeks, Starbucks workers have taken to social media to report that the company is no longer allowing Pride decorations in store. This seems to be the first year... excuse me. This seems to be the first year the publicly pro-LGBTQ plus company has taken this kind of stance, taking a cue from Target, who bowed to anti-LGBTQ plus, that's a mouthful, pressure and removed Pride merchandise. Corporate and district management are taking down the Pride decorations that have become an annual tradition in stores. Damn, that didn't last long. That was, I guess, when was this? When was this posted? The 13th. That shit lasted 13 days through Pride Month. Shit. I mean, companies really do be out here just faking it. They're trying to make sure they're they're trying to make sure they're with you, quote unquote, and understand you, quote unquote.
Morals was going to cost them a ton of money.
Whatever.
They will continue to throw this crap in your face until you say no. And if you really pay attention, then you'll notice that over the past couple decades, a lot of the messaging and cultural events have been geared towards removing your ability to stand up for yourself. Why do you think that feminists and woke people have been praising feminine soy boys who can't stand up for themselves and constantly describe normal, healthy, non-abusive male behavior as toxic?
And yet they do not date those feminine soy boys.
The purpose of that is to raise weak men who are too afraid to assert boundaries so that when they grow up, they'll just let the elites walk all over them. In many different ways, they're trying to reduce the number of people who will resist their messed up policies and ideologies. So the way this gets fixed is by individuals working on themselves on the micro level so that we can group together and fix things on the macro level. First off, realize that things like building wealth or getting rich is not about the ability to buy expensive cars and live in luxury. The reason you get rich is so that you have the ability to say no and remove yourself from or opt out of abusive situations.
Yeah.
Poor people can't do that, which is why you should be doing everything you can to make money, not overspend, and prevent the elites from stealing it from you through inflation or insanely high taxes.
Fair enough.
Second, we all need to get better at setting boundaries and asserting ourselves properly. Don't just let people walk all over you. Say no to or renegotiate situations that you feel are unfair, or do what you can to speak out when there's a problem. The more we increase the number of people who will stand up for themselves, the more things will get fixed. Personally, I have no idea how to do things like get airports to stop treating people like prisoners. But what I do know is that if we have more people out there who aren't willing to get stepped on, then one of those brave people will figure out the answer, and then we can all band together and support that person. Just like what happened with Bud Light. Then we move on to support the next person who figures it out somewhere else. This problem gets resolved at the individual level. We need a strong populace of regular people who stand up for themselves in order to give birth to the kind of person who is brave enough to figure out answers to the big problems. So help that along by fixing your personal weaknesses. Stop backing down in the face of conflict. You're making your life worse and making society worse by doing that. Start thinking of ways that you can put up resistance. And just to be clear, I'm not saying scream at people or be
Let
violent.
them cook.
I'm just saying make your voice heard. You can do that without being aggressive. But I'm sure there have been times in your life where you could have said something, but you didn't. Next time, do whatever you can to not let that happen again, even if your actions are small. It gets easier with practice.
Got it.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Oh, that was pretty good, to be honest. I really like this video, and I agree with a lot of what he said. Yeah, like, people have got to stop being so afraid to be canceled for what they say, you know? And those few who are like that, and those few who strive to make change for the better as a whole, instead of striving to make change for a certain community to be above another community, more people who want just to make change as a whole and want to stand up against the ones who want to make change for just a group, more of them need to strive. We need to make sure we're supporting the ones that are trying to make change for the betterment of the whole instead of just a single group. And like he said, that does start at the micro level. It starts with the individual. So it's going to be rough for a while, because right now it seems like a lot of people are okay with just being, told what to do, and they don't want to fight back. They just want other people to like them, and so they agree with everything they say, even if they know it's wrong. So you got to make sure you're standing up for your beliefs. And I know some people might have different. Everybody's gonna have different beliefs, obviously. But when everybody's standing up for their beliefs, and we can still come to the table and say, hey, I understand, I see what you're saying, but this is this, and this, and have a conversation instead of an argument, then true change can be made. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. But instead of just letting people bulldoze you and tell you what you should believe, everyone will slowly be able to, go against that narrative. Anyway, this I really like this YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm already subscribed to it. Think Before You Sleep. So make sure you check them out. Link to the channel and link to the video will both be in the description below. And yeah, so make sure you visit them, see what else they have in store for you. And after that, you know what it is. In case I don't see you. Well, first, let me know your thoughts on this whole woke movement. Because then there's shows like Velma that I still refuse to watch. I don't even want to hate watch it because I don't want to give any props to I don't want to give any view time to the show, which a lot of people fucked that up because that's why it's getting a season 2, even though everybody hates it. But let me know what you think about the whole woke movement and everything like that. So leave a comment in the comment section below, and you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.